Welcome back to AM Northwest. It's called period poverty, lacking funds to buy essential menstrual supplies. It causes many low-income women and girls to miss work and school. But you can help alleviate the issue by participating in the Period Power Project. Here to share more, we welcome from Positive Charge PDX, Sallie Cohen, and from Period National Programs Director, Damaris Pereda. Good to have you both with us. Let's first find out, what is period poverty? Describe it for me.
Awesome. So period poverty, like you said, is really the lack of access to menstrual products, the lack of education around periods and menstrual health that really impacts someone's ability to function in life with the basic essentials that they need for period to address their period.
Right. And I understand like WIC or SNAP, they don't cover period products, right?
Correct. A lot of federal assistance programs that really are for people who may not have access to basic needs already, do not have access to menstrual products, are not able to purchase them through these programs.
And isn't there like, we call it the pink tax, where you're taxed on those products as well?
Yes.
And they're not cheap.
No, there are currently still 20 states in this country that's tax menstrual products. And Oregon is not one of them, as you know, because we don't have taxes here. But that is something that Period is still working on addressing and supporting to ensure that period products that are taxed are no longer taxed, because this is a gender discrimination issue.
Right. And it's 1 in 4 students who can't afford products?
Yes, so nearly 1 in 4 students here in the United States. Often people think that period poverty is an issue that impacts people somewhere else, anywhere else. And so here in the United States, it is shown that nearly 1 in 4 students cannot and struggle to afford menstrual products. And that Oregon is no exception to that. And with that, even over 50% of people who menstruate in this country have worn period products longer than recommended for various reasons. But if you really don't have access to products, as you know, it may cause skin irritations, it might lead to yeast infections, it might lead to like that physical and also mental health, the anxiety and concern that you have around not having what you need, which then impacts your ability to be in school or work, depending on your situation, if you don't know where you're going to get your next period products from. And often people, like you shared earlier with the stigma, people are concerned and are embarrassed to ask about this. And so we always urge folks to consider, if there is someone who might not have access to their basic needs, if you're thinking of a food pantry or maybe like a population who's homeless, and so when you don't have access to any basic needs, really you also may not have access to menstrual products. And so that's something we always want to consider, because period poverty is an intersectional issue.
I mean, and so many people suffer from it, so many women. Sallie, tell me about what you're hoping to do.
So starting tomorrow through the end of the month, Positive Charge PDX is running a period power project. And so we are collecting period supplies, and we have a specific list on our website where people can donate supplies through various locations in all the quadrants of Portland. And then at the end of the month, what we're doing is we're packing them together at a packing party. And then we're distributing them to various organizations that will then distribute them to people who need them.
Oh my gosh, I mean, because clearly we need it. I understand that in Oregon, it's 1 in 7 women and girls between the age of 12 and 44 live below the federal poverty level. That's huge.
Yes, and so people who really have access or don't have access, like I said, to what basic needs, this is what this drive is so important to do. So we really urge folks to really donate, get involved, because there is a way that we can take action. Period poverty is a solvable issue, and that's why we're here. And that's why we're excited at Period to partner with our local organizations like Positive Charge PDX to ensure we're addressing this locally.
Sallie, what have you seen? Because you did this before, you've done this last year. What have you seen and what have you heard from women?
So last year, somebody brought it up as an idea to do this project, and we partnered with an organization called Equity Period, and we said, okay, there's a need, let's do it. And what we found was the community really came out.
That's great.
Way more than we expected.
Yeah.
We collected enough supplies to put 800 kits together.
Wow.
And then supplies to put another 200 kits together, but we ran out of bags. I mean, it was way more than we thought. And the stories that we heard from people were, from donors, were ranged from, we never knew these statistics, we were fortunate enough to always have what we needed, to people who came out of stores and dropped things off with us that said, this was us.
Wow.
And we just want to pay it forward, because thankfully we're not in that situation anymore.
What does this mean to you, this event?
I mean, we're so excited and we're thrilled to
Yeah.
have this here. Period is now started actually here in Portland by 2 high school students, and it's really expanded. And now we have over 200 Period chapters all over the world. We're in over 20 countries. And these are young people who are excited to do exactly what we're doing here.
Make a
getting,
difference.
Exactly. Getting period products, educating about the stigma that is so
I
important.
understand there are boys in this project too.
Oh, of course,
Yeah, which
of course.
is great.
This is for everyone.
Right.
Anybody can be involved because anybody actually can support this issue, and
Right.
we all need to be aware of both periods, what's happening, the issue, so that we can just live our lives. People who
Right.
menstruate can just have their thing and go to school,
And
go
not
to work.
be ashamed. Not
Exactly.
be ashamed about it. Okay.
Exactly.
We want to tell everyone, if you would like to help out, May 10th through the 30th, you've got the drop-off supplies and where to donate. We're gonna have a link on our website so people can find out where they can donate. And then June the 1st, you have to RSVP, right, to the big event
Right.
to help make cards and assemble supplies into
Yeah.
basically power packs. Right?
Yes.
Thank you both
Thank
for
you.
what you
Thank
do. This is
you.
great. All right, we'll put all the information for you on our website at katu.com. All right, we'll be right back with more AM Northwest. Don't go away.